Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of the Divisional Round Playoffs on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the monsters of the Midway, the Chicago Bears, and the Detroit Lions. With that, let's head inside to Ford Field in Detroit. Where standing by are the two men who will bring you this one, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
This Lion fan base, Coach, they have been craving home playoff football since this building opened in 2002, and they've got it today at Ford Field in Detroit. Coming up, an important divisional round matchup in the NFC between the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions. Hello, everyone. As the postseason continues here on EA Sports, we're pleased to bring it to you. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And who has the edge here? You got one side that had some extra rest, but another comes in off a win last week in the wild card round.
And it's funny, depending on which team you are, you say that that's an advantage. You'll take the rest. You'll take the week off, get your guys healed up a little bit and ready to go. But that team that's coming in off of a win last week, they're really excited to keep playing. They feel like they are hot and ready.
One of two spots in the NFC title game awaits the winner here as we're underway in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. 4 yards the result. From scrimmage, second down. And let's take a look at the Bears offense.
And this is a unit that has to feel good about itself. Got the win last week in the wild card round, and oftentimes we say you want to get the open week and get some rest, but many times we see the upsets happen with a team that won the week before and has momentum on its side.
And he powers his way up past the 30. A look now at the starters on the defensive side for the Lions. They were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
I was so proud of you in our meeting with the defensive coordinator because you asked the question that set him off. And all you said was, so what improvement do you need to see this week, Coach? And boy, he got fired up, didn't he? Takeaways. We need turnovers. We got to create them. Got so animated, jumped up in our meeting. It was fun to watch.
Somehow I always upset a coordinator in those meetings. Yeah. But they like you. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. So opening drive, 3 straight runs, unable to pick up the first.
I know the fans want to see first downs, but guess what? The coaches have reasons for what they're doing. Sometimes they've scripted it, and some of these runs, while they haven't been successful now, they may be successful later on.
Here's Tyler Newsome now. Good open field tackling there, a 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And the Lions will take over. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Check.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard. A look at the starters now defensively for the Bears. They were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week, because his feeling was good, solid performance, did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely would like to see some improvement in this week's game.
They always want improvement, don't they?
They certainly do.
He'll drop to throw. Yeah, that one going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Intended for number 85, incomplete.
So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
On fourth down, Matt Hawk is on to punt. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Now this offense about ready to take over again. And for them, maybe a little carryover from last week's game. They got the win on the road in the wild card round, on the road here again in the divisional round, but they're hanging tough.
Hey, cue a little music, right? A little on the road again. I mean, this has been kind of the mantra they're under right now, and they can't change it. The season dictated what would happen with them, right? They had to go on the road for the first round for the playoffs. They're on the road again, and sometimes teams get really comfortable with that. Not only the idea of going on the road and shocking the world, but just, hey, it's just us. We don't have to worry about outside distractions. It's just us. Let's go play.
It becomes that us against the world mentality, doesn't it?
And while it may be overplayed, in the media, it's real when it comes time to play ball. I like watching the wide receivers work play, because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit, but how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Now they try the right side here. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Don't be mad. Don't be mad. It's more coming.
And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
He'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Here comes the boom. I see you, boy. I see you.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. Here comes the Bears punter now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. Fielded just inside the 30. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Detroit getting set to go now. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for. Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. They'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kenny Clark busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be taken down at the 18. It'll be a gain of about 5, but they're left with a third and still about 12 to go. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking, but to me it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. Here comes the Bears punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. And he finds a man on the crossing route. They'll get 17 then. Have a first down. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. This for his running back, McCoy. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. First down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
The Lions into the red zone for the first time. 1st and 10 right at the 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 11 more on that one and another first down. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
Now back to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A 9-yard touchdown grab as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Will Lutz on for the point after. It's up, it's good, and the Lions lead 7-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5. He's got his man. It's Andrews. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. On 2nd down, Smallwood. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. He's got his man. That's Hardman. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. A give to Smallwood out of the gun. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. And he'll give it here to his running back. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Bears on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. From the gun, they run with Smallwood. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
56. Mike, 56. Right there, 56.
On 2nd down now, Smallwood. And a pretty good run as he'll get this down close to a 1st at the Lions' 21. The Bears on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. A run with Smallwood. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Now we've got a field goal coming up here for Chicago. This will be a 37-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
And Detroit getting set to go now. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They run the counter. Melvin, and he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a give right side. Melvin, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Here we go. Mike. 18, Gator. Mike to 59. Hey, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
On 2nd down, Melvin. 3 yards on the pickup there, but they've only got it back to 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw. And he'll find Hall. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 44-yard line.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. They're going to look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 1st down Lions on a pickup of 13. On 1st down, it's Green. Runs through the contact. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a 1st down as well.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
They'll run on first down. Melvin. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. And he's got it. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit, in for the score. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
Here we go.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10.
56. Watch the curl, watch the curl, watch the curl.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. This one complete to Smallwood. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give him 7 there on the first down carry. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. 16 yards is the pickup there and a first down for Chicago.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. And to give this time to the tailback. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
56, Mike, 56, right there, 56. Get that ball, D.
Here's Smallwood. He's got it on the draw. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. This is Johnson. He's got it. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
And there was absolutely zero pressure on the quarterback on that play. 3rd down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a first down pickup.
Here we go. 8-3. 52's the mic. I got you, punk. Come.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Watch the pass.
1-yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9.
On 2nd down now, Smallwood. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. That is caught inside the 5 and stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll drop to throw, and that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. From 3 yards out, as his guys are back within a single score. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Now the try here for the point after. And he's got it. That cuts the lead. It's now 14-10. A 10-play drive that time. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. This is taken at the 3. Good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Throwing to start the drive, but that went incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. He'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Well, they were unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half.
What we got?
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. They'll look to throw here. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Detroit. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Inside of a minute left in the half, does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do or, I guess, don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. That's complete to DK Metcalf.
Come on, fellas.
He had 6 catches in the wild card win, and that's his first one here in the divisional round, and it's a 1st down. Looking to throw. This one into the hands of Metcalf. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. He'll drop to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Sack. Got him.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Back to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Here comes the Bears punter now. He's been averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC Divisional Round matchup. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, this is the second of 4 games this weekend as we narrow the field down to the 4 teams who will meet in the league championship games next Sunday. We'll get back out to you guys in just a moment. Meanwhile, in our game, we're set up for a terrific second half. So to find out who will advance to the NFC title game, let's send it back out to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. He'll look to throw.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well. So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they've rallied and made the tackle.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight.
Let's go.
Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And out will come the offense as they take over. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
53's the mic.
Let's set a tone, fellas.
On second down, Melvin. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Check, 59.
You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing.
Back to throw here. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up fourth down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Here's Matt Hawk now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line. Now, if you're a fan of punting, this game's for you. He's been out there quite a bit. That one maybe his best yet.
Yeah, he certainly got his leg loose by now. It kind of reminds me of my college football coach, John Majors. He loved the punting game because he liked the positioning, the field position, and he loved to play defense.
60 outlaw.
Rip right.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Here's a 2nd and 7 now from their own 7. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. The 40. Past the 20. Touchdown, Chicago. A big play there. 93 yards. And the Bears have taken the lead. They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was. And if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 17-14. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So here come the Lions now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Space to maneuver at the 40. That one complete. He finds Shark. And he takes it all the way up to the 47. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. Somebody missed an assignment. He was waving his arms saying, hey, I'm wide open. They found him.
You think? You think? I mean, he was so wide open. Did you see he was just windmilling like he was Don Quixote or somebody out there? And then they found him for a really nice gain.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Catch made here by Campbell. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 8. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Dexter Lawrence busting through to get him for a loss of 6. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Here's Matt Hawk now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. A gain there of 12 yards and a 1st down for the Bears.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
The first down pass.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Ready.
My 70, Indy. All day.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Now they go screen. It's complete. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a 1st down.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. A big kick, 50 yards that time, with a return of 4, and the Lions will take over. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
On 1st down, Melvin. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll keep it on the ground. Melvin. Oh, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they're already in the red zone. The 18-yard line is where they take over.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football.
Right there, 56. Let's go one more. Ready.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Strong right. Everyone, you got 4 down.
They'll set up a throw. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity missed.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. He connected on his first, this from 41. And his kick is good. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So not sure how they feel about that. They had golden field position to start the drive after the fumble recovery, but they went backward and then got 3.
Well, let's go from gold to silver, because the silver lining is they got the 3, right? You were talking about the golden field position. They didn't take advantage of it. That has to feel like a letdown.
You always stand ready to pounce. Always. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over. Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
They'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And this is picked up by the Bears. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if.
Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th quarter. Are you touched? And it's intercepted at the goal line. Snags it for the pick. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. On second down now, Melvin. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go!
One quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now back to throw. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. First down Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They're going to look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dexter Lawrence, his 2nd sack of the night.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd down and 12. And he held on to it too long. A coverage sack. Down he goes.
Another loss.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Detroit. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. And here now the offense heading back out there. And right now they're just looking for a little more cushion, trying to make this a two-score game. Points here would go a long way, obviously, to propelling them into the next round.
And this is where the head coach, offensive coordinator, they've had to set a tone all year long about what they do on offense. So most teams want to stay in attack mode, but you have to do it with some bit of caution, don't you? Because you can't come away with no points. You need these points here in order to feel a lot better about where they are in this game.
But this time of the year, playoffs, game of this magnitude, this is what we hope for.
Yeah, it's exactly what we hope for. You want to run your offense cautiously, but not so cautiously that you just give it up.
A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11. And to give this time to the tailback. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Well, from my vantage point, that's just one bad play by the offensive line and a running back who's had a lot of good ones tonight.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be ticked off, nor is the offensive line, because to me it's a lot like a no-hitter, right? Pitcher's throwing a no-hitter, gives up a hit late. You're so close to accomplishing everything you want and don't quite get it done. They'll come back with a vengeance on the next play.
2nd and 11, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Detroit getting set to go now. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. 2nd and 5. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. They'll drop to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete.
Let's go, let's go!
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker.
Here we go! 18 Gator. Bandit. Bandit.
First down, a run with Smallwood. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Ready. 50, plant. Hey, watch the ball. Hey, we got tight left.
Here we go on 2nd and 12.
We got 4 down.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only 1 score down.
Yeah, true. We could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. This for his running back, McCoy. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. He'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. And they call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 41. Looking to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete.
The first down pass.
Lay down.
Complete to number 33.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. They'll look to throw here. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 26. He'll look to throw. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Chicago.
Touchdown.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
The defense more than did its job. The offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for two. They'll look to throw. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for two, and they did.
Well, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And several days ago, you and I talked with a couple of guys in the meetings about how big is home field advantage. And they kind of downplayed it a bit, but I think we're seeing here today, building up this lead, looks like they're going to win. Why home field advantage in the divisional round so important?
Yeah, they may have downplayed it, but we could also sense it was important.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dexter Lawrence able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. He'll drop to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That one complete. He finds Shark. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of the first as that leads to 4th down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And no, it's incomplete. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. So still over 3 minutes remaining in this game, but boy, not getting that when that hurt.
That's a little bit demoralizing, so they have to be careful about that because still have an opportunity if they can get some things done on defense. But now, since they've taken over on downs, a team with the ball, guess what? Going to 4-minute offense, maybe they can put this thing away.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here, 3rd and 14.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Back to throw here. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
Factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight unable to find anyone open.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Back to throw. And it is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And as a result, their playoff run may end right here. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
A gain of 29 yards.
One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his O-line and just went.
So there's two ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game.
Check 52's to Mike. Let's go, let's go.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. So out comes the field goal team once more. This to make it a 3-score game late. And his kick is right there. It's good. And that will make this now an 18-point ball game. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
Look at DJ Chark as he and the rest of the offense head back out. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. 11 yards there and a Lion 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. He finds McCoy. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. They'll look to throw. And this one into the hands of DJ Chark. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Now back to throw. And he'll find Hall.
We got this.
Well, on both sides, you come into this game with so much hope, so much build-up, looking to move on. One side gets to do that, but let's not forget the others. Tough pill to swallow.
It really is, because there's so much hard work, effort. You mentioned the hope to go on and maybe play in the big game itself. Well, let's see how they handle it, though. The offseason is going to be a long one for them because they're going to eat their heart out watching other people continue to play. But can they come back the next year and find it in them to make that same run again and maybe find a way to advance?
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis.